Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to World Renovation, Henford and Bagley edition. We are back at Henford Manor for the final time. Over past 8 episodes we've added so much detailing, so much decoration to this sprawling stately home, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. And I've really enjoyed this being a collaborative project with you guys and hearing your stories and your input. And that's really making me look forward to future builds in this build series. Now, I didn't really make any extra details to the last part. It has been a while since I filmed, so apologies for that. But as I said in my community post, and if you ever need any updates, go to that tab. I've just been really busy more than anything with work, and it is so hot in London this week. I'm actually showing a bit of arm with a vest on today. This will be my first summer filming YouTube videos, so I imagine it's going to get quite hot in my office. I do need to invest in a fan, but without further ado, let's get into the build. So we have one part of the manor house left, which is Evelyn's suite. Now, this is quite a spacious living quarters, and as usual with this build series, I've picked out the wallpapers and the flooring. There's no change really to the parquet flooring, but I did want to add something a bit jazzier, something a bit more feminine for Evelyn's abode. So I've chosen this floral wainscoting wallpaper, which is from Cottage Living, which is perfect, works with the world that we're in. Also added a few light sconces and the window drapes from Businesses and Hobbies in this really beautiful white creamy tone. And I've carried that through to the main bedroom area. You can see I've already pulled out a portrait. This is, well, for storylines purposes, this is Evelyn's mother, based on a portrait that we have hanging in the front entrance. So I thought it would be a nice moment to pay homage to that. I think this is from Werewolves, potentially. Oh no, you're not. It's one of those Reaper's reward event objects, but it's obviously a bit charred. But you know, maybe they salvaged it from a fire from part of the wing, maybe that went up on the manor house. I don't know. Stories. And also on the right wing will be a bathroom. Made a little bit of a start as well with the vanity area. And that's got like a slightly different floral motif wallpaper. And then the dressing room, which has got this really plush carpet. I think this came with one of the kits that Plumbella, I think, created. So we definitely need more carpet swatches in this game. But yeah, I'm going to make a start, I guess, on this like front lobby area. This will be mainly where the staff will have to come in, also where any like WI members want to wait before Evelyn is ready to join and entertain. So I'm going to pick out a few things and we can start placing things together. Okay, so I've brought in this sofa in a teal greeny shade to cross-reference with the wallpaper. It's actually from the Crystal Creations kit, which I never really use, and I like the high back to it. So I think I'm going to place it here, where it makes most sense, since the doors will open on either side. And also pull out a side table. So here I thought it'd be quite a fun storyline to have some of Lady Evelyn's charitable awards. This actually is a charitable act trophy. I know we have a wall decoration, so I'm going to pull that out where there's like medals and things like that. Here it is, the Shelf of Champions. Now let's just say Lady Evelyn didn't get these all of her own accord. She probably bribed a few people in the village, but albeit she's very proud of her charitable work, or what she deems as charitable anyway. I've also added a tea set and a lamp. I think I'll carry this through to the bedroom as well, because I quite like that it cross-references with the pink floral motifs in the wallpaper, but creating a harmony with a palette for a room. So I really try and achieve when I'm building. Now, here's a bit of an awkward space, but I think I'm going to repeat what we have done throughout the build, where we've had, oh, maybe let's get this rug actually in a circular motif, where we've had a floral display in the center. Do you come in a slightly different swatch so I'm not repeating everything? Yeah, let's go for that one. yeah, just bring out a kind of hallway table and then repeating the floral displays that we've used throughout. There we are. Nice floral arrangement. Again, pretty much florals in every room in this manor house. And I've also pulled out the high school diploma with valedictorian honours. Figured, you know, Lady Evelyn's the type to be a valedictorian. It's kind of a pledge to her achievements, this room, which was not planned. There's a nice space here for an indoor plant of some descript. Let's maybe pull out the fern, since it fits so nicely in a corner, in a lighter shade. Nice. Well, thank you so much for the pride wishes from my last part. I was really impressed with everyone's nice comments, and also about Disney as well. I didn't realize there were so many Disney heads in the community, and it's really nice hearing your stories and telling me what kind of films you like as well. So I'm glad we all share the same opinions that live action films are not the best. So I really want to get on a kind of 50s, 60s trip of watching old movies again. I used to be obsessed with it when I was in university, but I just stopped watching them, and I'd love to get some recommendations. I'm really obsessed with like things that have great costuming, you know, being quite a visual person. So if you have any suggestions, please leave some comments below. I'm always intrigued by some old movies. I just feel like they don't shoot movies like that anymore, which is a shame. Let's add speaking of old school things, let's add a telephone here as well. So Lady Evelyn's stuff can always be at hand to her. I actually made that apparent, if you remember from last time, putting a telephone in each of the staff's room. And I think that's, for the space sides of the room, I think that's just enough detail more than anything. Let's move on to the main bedroom. So I think the main goal is figuring out where to place the bed, since that's going to be the most important part of the room. And I was toying with the idea of having something really grand, but I think this competes too much with the wallpaper. So I'm wondering if we could go for something quite plush with this kind of, I don't really know, quilted headboard, I guess you could say. I think it comes in a more neutral swatch. Yeah, this cream with the kind of sagey, bluey tones really works in here. I also had in mind, which I toyed with earlier, we have a canopy that came with one of the, I think it was a nursery kit, and it comes in a neutral swatch, and I'm just wondering if I size it up. Might need to use the tool mod for this. Let's just say let's do a 1.4. Let's see if it's cutting in anywhere. I think that was randomly perfect. Yeah, this comes in a beigey swatch as well. I know it's a little bit juvenile. I wish we had more of a canopy that went across the bed, but I think this is quite nice. It gives a bit of a regal moment. I think I'm going to keep that. Bedside tables. Now, something decorative, but also in a lighter wood swatch, which is a swatch we've not actually used that much throughout the manor house. It's all been quite dark, rich wood furniture. I wonder if you maybe... Do these come in a lighter swatch? They do. And they have that decorative element. Let's bring you out, shall we? I like that there's slightly angular sides as well to this bedside table. Yeah, and let's bring in the lamp that we used. Push it over there. And much like Winston I imagine Lady Evelyn reads a lot as well. So let's bring in some books, shall we? Yeah, let's maybe do the blue swatch, contrast it. I think this is a perfect spot for obviously a rug, but also the dog bed as well. Just gonna steal that from downstairs. But I think I'll do it in white, since this, or cream and white. Such a nice lighting engine. I saw a tweet actually yesterday that said since the update, which I've only had an update since the last dating back to May, but that the lighting engine has got crisper, and people, you know, kind of assumed that it was to keep up with InZai, but for me, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it does look nice, but I don't know if it's the result of a game update or not. But let me know if you guys have had any improvements to your lighting. I just always assume, you know, running at the highest spec and ultra settings that, you know, it would look this way anyway, but I do have a mod in my game actually that slightly refines the lighting, because sometimes I get irritated when it pixelates and doesn't look pretty. I'm a very like visual person, as you can tell. Let's look for a big rug. Might look a little bit too basic in here. We need something with a floral motif. Give me 5 seconds. This one is perfect. It's from the base game and has just the right amount of decorative elements to it to really enjoy, but it's not competing with the wallpaper, which is the aim for a rug to ground on the furniture. Lovely. Now, perfect spot for a seating area. And I'm wondering if we could have a rocking chair. Again, with the, it was a nursery kit pack. I'm not sure the exact name of it, but that had a really nice rocking chair to it. Perhaps this is something that Evelyn's mother had when she was a child and then always kept it in the room. Quite like it in just the plain swatch to get the spacing right here, the flow. Might also bring over it's so big this house, should have fly over everywhere. Bring over the sewing kit, so there's a bit of gameplay in here as well. I think also in this kit there was a toy chest, so really carrying through the idea that Evelyn's really held on to everything over the years. She doesn't have children, so maybe it's one of those things that, you know, she's mourning. Oh, sounds very dramatic. I'll keep you in that swatch or that swatch. Go for the cream. Just dress up this mantelpiece. I think I'll just have some candelabras and maybe a floral element as well. Dress the fireplace with just enough detail. Really nice moment across in the bed, and then also pulled out this dressing table and an actual dressing table that's functional as well. So I thought it was quite nice to have a few different furniture elements. Added a keepsake box here. Thought maybe we could dress this up together. I'm thinking of something of a floral display and yet another urn, which that might total 4 or 5 at this point. Maybe there's no storyline behind this, it's just a decorative urn. Feels a bit spooky having a family member sleeping across from you. Yeah, let's go for that. And I'm going to electronics for a floral display. Something tall. Will you work actually? Oh, you're not going to. Maybe if I size you down and lift you up, will you cut in? Another one? Oh. let me do the till mod on this. I'll be back in a jiffy. Thank God for that cutaway, because I just had to run downstairs to get a parcel. I've actually been waiting for some wine glasses from Firm Living. I don't know if you know that brand, for quite a few days. I think it's come from Denmark, and they finally arrived today, so very happy. We now have a full set of wine glasses. We've been surviving on 2 for over a year since we moved in. Just added this floral display here using the tool mod. I think there's slight detailing issues with this, but I think it's a base game item, so it's what it is. Let's get to work dressing the dressing table, shall we? Pulled out some products here in white. I thought maybe we could add a tray. I think there's one with a light on it, so it might work. It's not in here. Maybe let's go to lighting and see if it pops up here. There's like a candle on it. Oh, no, you look far too contemporary. This is the one I was thinking of. Yeah. We'll do it in the white with the pink flowers to play off the wallpaper. Turn you down though, you're a little bit too warm. Nice. There's a spot screaming out for some florals. Added some flowers and also a chair with this nice wicker rattan detailing. Bit of textural interest. Quite like the idea of playing with smaller bits of artwork or wall decorations. I wonder if we have a nice wall clock that we could use. I never use this. Wow, that's a lot. 1,200 simoleons. Do you have a nicer swatch? That's quite a nice moment there. Could do with a small picture in this corner. Again, probably a really expensive small one. I think this one works in here. Going for a bit of a lighter theme, as you can tell, just to nicely contrast with the doors and the flooring. Bit off topic, but Vin and I have been watching and enjoying Andor. Our friends recommended it to us. I'm not really a fan, I would say, of Star Wars, or at least I've only watched some of the really old films, never the new ones. And obviously this is to tie in with that. I think it's like a prequel to those kind of films, but I'm enjoying it. And what's really cool is they've used the Barbican as some of the filming locations, which is really enjoyable to watch because you can tell some of the architectural elements and how they've retained and obviously added CGI here and there. But we're really enjoying the show, actually, Vin and I, and would rate it. I think we're about 5 or 6 episodes in, and it's on Disney Plus, if I can remember correctly. And also, aside from that, we finished Adults, which was on Disney Plus as well, and that was so fun. It's really it's a Gen Z kind of script, but from a millennial side mindset, and there's just such funny stories. I mean, Julie Fox has a random cameo in it as well. And that kind of plays into that thing following on from Overcompensating, which I'm not sure if any of you guys have watched, but that was a fun watch about this gay guy like growing up in college and his experiences. So yeah, I've really been on a TV swing recently, and there's some really good programs out there to watch, so I would recommend all 3 that I just mentioned, all very different. No, I guess Adults and Overcompensating are in the same ilk, but Andor is completely different and a lot more serious you have to pay attention to. I've just pulled out this chaise actually, thought it was a nice spot. And that reminded me actually, I've added, where we are with the lighting. I've added these balconies as an extra bit of detailing, and doesn't cut too much into the roof line as well. I just thought it was a nice moment, really. An extra bit of detail. And it also shifted over, not this would really be that noticeable, but we had 2 windows here, and I've just centered one here since the window was encroaching a bit too much to this part where we would have a bed more than anything. So that is a few tweaks that I did off camera. Already placed a radiator here, still carrying on with that theme that we would have radiators throughout the house, heating. Although the thought of having heating on right now is horrendous. It's so warm in London. We're expected to hit 32 or 33 next week, which is going to be really fun to film in, but I might try and pre-film a few videos and then not have to film that week, because I imagine it's going to be hell on earth. It's not too bad at the moment in my office. I'm struggling, but in silence. But I need a silent... Oh, if you have any recommendations for a fan that's not too loud, that would be awesome, because the one I currently have, I think the microphone picks it up a little bit too much, but I might try and do a test run filming with it on, and hopefully it won't pick up with too much static. Let's add a side table here. I was going to put it on an angle, but thought against it. Yeah, let's do that. Quite a nice area to have some music. I wonder if we can have a record player here. Maybe this one. I'm really glad that they added more record players into the game. Put it in a cream. Or a white. Let's do a white, since we have some white wainscoting on the walls. What can go here, I wonder? Flowers. It's my go-to. Let's add them. Maybe let's go for our signature vase of flowers in a white. That's a nice perspective. I was thinking of using this room for the thumbnail, but then since it's the finale part, I think I might use the entire manor in the shot, just to celebrate all the work we've done. Moving on to the dressing room, I've just pulled out this kind of sideboard, I guess you could say. It's from the base game. I've actually never used this before and don't think I've ever seen it. So it would be quite nice to add some dressing decoration, I guess you could say, in this part, just to differentiate the room a little bit. Now we do need a wardrobe and something that looks very stately and very grand. The more I look at the catalogue, the more I realise how limited we are with bedroom furniture, and it'd be quite nice to have a pack that's dedicated to that, I think. Because I had some of these things for a while. I think this one works best. It's from the Vampires kit. Maybe not with the gold accents. It's a bit nicer in the beigey tones. And I can't remember where it came from. It could be the Get Famous EP. It's that dressing chair where you can do your makeup. So say like Lady Evelyn has stuff to get her ready and her hair done ready every day. I mean, she's very rich after all. I have not the foggiest where I can find this in the catalogue, so I'm just gonna dig in now and we can place it together and then add even more decoration to this room. Okay, first things first, it was from Get Famous, so I was very proud of my memory for that. It looks a little bit contemporary for this kind of build, but it's the only object we have with a kind of gameplay makeover element, so I'm going to add it anyway. And as we all know with that pack, there was some hilarious swatches. I think the gold's quite nice actually, looking at it now. Oh, but this is what I think that's why I didn't choose the gold accent, since the rest of the decoration is all neutral. So let's place it there in the center, and I think the Sims shouldn't have any trouble getting around. To add this little leather buffet. Use this in the living room downstairs, if you remember, just to fill up a bit of extra decoration. A fancy mirror, the chandelier out of the way, like that decorative moment. Maybe let's get the angle right so we can access this sideboard. And then I've pulled out a few decorative things. So the handbag. Is this called the the baddie's bag? I'm not sure where this came from. It's most likely a kit. Yeah, it'll be a kit. So that was nice. Makes sense having a fancy quilted purse. A jewelry box. It would have been cool to have a safe in this house, but I didn't think that far ahead, so we do not have one. Some flowers, and then also this jewelry bust, which I thought was kind of a cool element. Maybe her staff displays her jewelry for the day, and then she can choose whether she wants it or not. So yeah, just a few decorative pieces there. I'm going to add, I added a cluster of photos in Winston's room. I'm going to do the same here in the dressing room, but just change the swatch, I think. Go for that. A bit more in keeping with Lady Evelyn's style. I imagine how like plush the rug is. That's why the carpet is. That's why I added it to the dressing room. Imagine it'd be really lovely to get dressed in here. And I think that's it really. We've got the main elements to the room. Let's move on finally to the bathroom. Now I've added a marble floor here as well to match the marble ceiling. I've done this for any fancy bathroom that we have in the house. And I also, if you remember from the living area, I've pulled out this mirror again. Instead of, oh, the glitch. Instead of having it integrated into a fireplace, I've also carried on through that sideboard into this bathroom as well. That was a nice dressing element. So I'm going to use probably the fanciest bathroom we have in the catalogue, so I'm going to pull some things and we can place them all together. Okay, let's make a start on finishing the final room of Henford Manor. Never thought I'd get to this day. I've pulled out a suite, I don't think it's all matching, but a suite that has all these gold accents. I just thought, let's go crazy bougie in here and also have some embroidered towels, you know. It's a shame we don't have well, I guess that could look like an L. Oh, it kind of looks like an L, and you know, I've got away with it. Got away with it. Thank you, Sims teams, for working with me. Decorative, kind of deco mirror. You up a bit high. There, if I go a bit lower, it'll go into the tap. Oh no, it won't. Okay, cool, let's do that. Toothbrush and hand wash, of course. Let's add a robe for the Lady of Leisure. And then for the centre part of the room, I really had in mind, especially with the double windows, to have a bathtub, freestanding bathtub, in front of the window placement. So again, chosen this one. I think this is from the Life and Death pack. It's been really useful for finishing this build, so very happy with that. And I've also pulled out this divider. I never use these in my builds, but I thought it was cool, especially because I want to have a toilet in this section. And we've got the space for it in this bathroom to have an extra bit of furniture. And then this acts a little bit like a dressing, showering area. So I think going forward in any fancy bathroom I have, I might include a divider. I know these usually would go in dressing rooms, but we don't really have enough space to add it in here for everything to work. Let's add a very plush bath mat here. The toilet of dreams. Reflective of all the other fancy bathrooms that we've got in the manor house. What else are we forgetting? A toilet roll. The last one of Henford Manor. And this shower cubicle is very bougie. All the gold accents. Got the might size you down actually. Another one of those. And then I think the final bits are to add some decoration, I guess, for this area. Got some candlesticks in here. You know what, let's add one last bouquet, shall we? I think this one comes in a white. Ah, you do. Dream. Gosh, we've done it, guys. Finally, we have got to the end of Henford Manor after 8 parts. What a journey. Let me take you on a little bit of a tour before we go into a final tour. So this will be the kind of waiting area, as I mentioned, with all of Evelyn's achievements and diploma. Go to the main bedroom. I'm really happy with how this turned out. It fits her vibe, her very pristine vibe. A dressing table, lots of different details. Very important to the storyline. The portrait on the wall. Rocking chair with a chaise. And a little record player. Dressing room with functional makeup hair station. Nice little dressing area here as well, with views over the garden. And then finally into perhaps the bougiest bathroom I've done yet, with all the gold, the embroidered towels. Very nice. Oh, I'm sad, guys. I'm gonna get into a better shot. Oh, let's get into this lighting, shall we? But that's it, friends. This is where we leave things for Henford Manor. Thank you so much for all the support you've shown me over the past 8 parts of building and furnishing this sprawling estate. It's been a real dream. And I also wanted to say thank you so much for the collaboration, the comments, the likes, the support, the subscriptions that you guys have given to my growing channel. I imagine in the next part of this series will probably focus on Finchwick Village and perhaps the tea room, which will be a commercial property with a livable space above. But I'll make sure to upload this build to the gallery. It's all CC free, so you shouldn't have any problems, but we have used pretty much every pack imaginable in The Sims to finish this gigantic house. If you do like this video, please give it a like and subscribe. I'll leave all my socials in the descriptions box below. And I will see you in the next one. Enjoy the final tour. Goodbye.